Hello, hello, and welcome back to some more The Talos Principle 2. I'm not sure how I'm going to edit this down now, because I still have some of Orpheus Ascending to go. The 3 puzzles behind the Golden Gate. At this point, I have not solved them. I've spent a bit more time looking at them, still gotten nowhere. That's good! I was complaining that the puzzles in the original game were all easy compared to the first game. Now we have ones that are definitely not. This is a good thing. But for now, I'm gonna move on, not to get completely stuck, and we will go on to the second side story. Isle of the Blessed. Embark on a puzzle-driven adventure set on a stunning Caribbean island. Solve an array of fresh, medium difficulty puzzles, culminating in the hexahedron.
We're approaching the island now. Looks nice. A lot less threatening than the megastructure. I mean, no offense. It's just less pointy.
No offense taken.
I hear Barzai has done an incredible job creating this exhibition. And what a lovely opportunity to spend some time together as a family. So, Yaqut, Miranda tells me you'll be solving some of the puzzles?
Did she? I hadn't really thought about it, but,
You know, back in my day, all we could do was solve puzzles.
that's right, in the simulation. And we're all very grateful for it.
So you know how important puzzles are to this family.
Mom!
Of course, I'm gonna solve all the puzzles, even the freaky giant cube.
I hear Barzai's even created gold puzzles and star puzzles. It's going to be just perfect for you.
Oh, that's great. Yay.
Yaqut, don't listen to them. They're terrible old robots.
What? I'm the founder. Everything I do is serious.
I can confirm that.
Hello! I'm so glad you could make it.
Hello, Mr. Mayor. How are things on Barzai's Island?
Barzai seems pretty pleased. 1K and Melville got here this morning. 1K's already solved all the puzzles, of course. And Melville's somewhere. She was testing the sensory receptor upgrade. Al's here, too. I haven't talked to him yet.
You should do that.
Maybe. Meanwhile, relax, enjoy yourselves, and I heard you were going to be joining in the puzzling, Yaqut.
He can do whatever he wants to. You don't have to solve puzzles to impress me, Yaqut.
No, I you kidding? I can totally do this.
Excellent. Well, good luck, and we'll see you around.
Hooray! We're no longer forced to solve puzzles.
I see we have a new group. Welcome to my latest exhibition, Freedom from Necessity. There are many puzzles for you to solve here, inspired by the events that restored Athena to us. But the most important thing you have to keep in mind is their purpose, which is none. We are not here because of voices in the sky or tragedies of the past, but because we choose to. We solve puzzles because it is joyous, it is beautiful, and it is human.
As I was saying, hooray, we no longer have to solve puzzles, now we can solve puzzles entirely by choice. There's a map. It's a map. Okay, we have 3 new groups of 8. Green, red, and blue. I see each one has its own triangle as well. And some other stuff too. Whatever these green links and circles are.
There are those in New Jerusalem who fear that understanding the language of creation is the end of our journey. But that is like saying that literacy is the end of learning, when in fact it is the beginning. Only now are we really capable of reading the great and terrible book of the universe. And only now can we start to write our own chapters.
Objective: impress Miranda. Brilliant. Well, Yaqut finally gets to solve some puzzles. All of the puzzles. Not entirely by his own will, by the sound of it. He's being pressured into solving all of the puzzles. I doubt there are going to be any QR codes on the back of anything. I'm not sure that would make a whole lot of sense around here. We have, however, got access to a bunch of this. A lot of this. Byron the Master Puzzler, he really does have a knack for them. It would be fair to say the entire expedition only worked out because of this one impulsive decision to invite 1K along. Strange how we are sometimes saved in the most unexpected ways. Every person is a miracle, and you never know when their particular set of strength is going to change your world. It me. Well, me most of the time. Mr. Mayor, sir. That's Uncle Mr. Mayor, sir, to you. Yaqut and I had a lovely day with Byron. We spent hours in the Museum of the Ancient World. The new artifacts are incredible. There's an entire collection of perfectly preserved books that are so beautiful and so moving, and I felt overwhelmed. It's mad our ancestors produced millions of books every year, and somehow never noticed how remarkable that was. As always, thinking about them leaves one feeling impressed and frustrated. Afterwards, we attended a concert by Dam Jan. I'd never been to a concert before and was surprised how different it was compared to just listening to the album. It's really a whole new experience. The best part, though, was watching Yaqut dance. I felt it had been too long since I had hung out with my most terrifying friend, so I decided to go for a little trip. Watching her work at the height of her powers was genuinely moving and amazing, and yes, I will post that even though Melville told me not to be all mushy. The chess. Somebody should tell them that they're evenly matched. Or do they know that? Is that part of the appeal? Why do they love this game so much? Are they even playing or just pretending to as part of some elaborate joke? Athena takes the very first step through a wormhole onto another world, an important moment in our history, but that's not the reason I love this picture. It's because this is Athena as she was meant to be, not reduced to the stern and hollow founder, but an explorer. A bright shining light of reason and optimism, just like her mother. Thank you, 1K. We went for a walk, and it was lovely. You always see something new. I discovered 12 new insect species without even really trying. Well, evolution has probably, maybe moved on a bit, since all the, organic humans died. Seeing other planets sounds exciting. I know I previously argued against it, but after all the stories I've heard, I really want to go. But the idea of stepping through a wormhole just creeps me out. What are the chances I get blown to smithereens? And no, you can just back yourself up doesn't work for me. I believe in continuity of consciousness. Our perception drivers still have trouble handling the transition, so you will experience disorientation. If you're going through on a ship, I would suggest turning on sleep mode, or at least disabling visual input and balance sensors. That does not sound encouraging. All the wormholes we're using at the moment are based on pre-existing patterns in the fabric of reality. They're completely stable. However, if you make a fuss when going through, I may disintegrate you myself. If Melville says they're safe, then we know they are. Another expert confirms Melville's statement. See, Fred, there's nothing to worry about. Always a pleasure to see you here, Yaqut. Really appreciate your heroism during the expedition. Thanks for the input. I might give it a try one of these days. Hello, everyone is very excited about all the new options we have for modifying our bodies, and as per the latest decisions regarding bodily autonomy, you can pretty much do as you will. However, as I'm sure you all remember the Pellegrino centipede, we are going to be requiring any desired altercations to pass some basic safety tests, and we'll be uploading some approved templates you can use in the body designer. Impressive work, Melville. Your dedication to safety is truly inspiring. Mayor Byron could not have picked a better person for the job. I can't wait to try the new anti-grav drone bodies. Being able to fly wherever I want. I don't think I've ever wanted anything more. We don't need new bodies, we need to learn to accept ourselves as we are. Darling, if you believe that it matters, you can keep your body just as it is for as long as you like. But if Aurenia wants to fly, let her fly. Noah's right. Sorry, Melduk. It would be beautiful to see Aurenia fly. Who are you, and what have you done to the real Thekla? People change. This group is going to be looking at the best methods for preserving a number of species that are threatened by non-anthropogenic factors, i.e. that are dying out due to being outcompeted, failing to adapt to changing conditions, diseases, etc. If you want to join, please contact myself, Hypatia or Aranax, or just join via the project's interface, available in the new update. I would like to join. I have a fondness for marsupials, and the poor little blighters don't stand a chance once continental drift smooshes a few land masses together. Can I join despite my history? I've switched to a less irritating voice pack. I've added you to the group. Do not blacklist people, Doge. I've spent a lot of time considering the reality of extinction lately. How desperately sad it must be like to be the last of your own kind, and the thought that this will just continue happening to so many species even if we don't have a major impact ourselves. It makes me experience a sense of cosmic horror. There's no horror in nature taking its intended course. If a species was meant to go extinct, it will. I don't think anything is meant to happen, dude, and that's scary, I know. But that's why we've got excellent people like Surabai trying to do something about the bad stuff, you know? Also, I noticed that 1007 there. Yes, we definitely have continued making new people. It's pretty cool, I suppose. Also, Byron is definitely the mayor. I wonder if that is a fixed thing, if that is the expected route from the main game. Or if somehow this dialogue would be completely different, because I know that is a thing that you can change in the main game. There are achievements. You can make Rand mayor. You can leave her Mandubis as mayor by the decisions you make in the main game. So, either there must be some completely different sets of text, or Byron must be the expected, in air quotes, outcome. Crabs. Well, let's just wander into Green 1, shall we? The man behind the curtain.
You can do this.
We have an activator. We have a connector. A jammer here. And I just need to get back there. Okay. Okay. I think we do this. We grab this. We go over to here. Block that right in the corner. Not right in the corner, because I do need it to affect that as well. So... here then. Remove that. That is now down. We go through, we jam this. We do the thing.
That's it! I did it! Don't sound so surprised, you're not stupid.
Congrats, Yaqut. You have solved an puzzle. The snatchback maneuver. Music's all very tropical in these parts. Okay, we have a connector, we have a driller, we have a red thing that's gonna possibly be difficult to activate because it's gonna switch on this barrier. I need to get back there. We have a jammable wall right there that I could pass the connector through. We have an inverter. And we have a red emitter. Alright. Well, there's not a whole lot I can do with the driller, seemingly. But yeah, if I do this... Okay, that does not turn on that barrier. What does turn on that barrier? Right, here's the other driller wall. So I would need to go here, say. Remove the inverter. Gonna do, yeah, that. I don't think this is too much of a problem. Okay, I see, I think. I can. Alright. Disable you a tick. I want to do there, and there. We do... Thing there, grab thing. I can't hit that round there. Annoying placement of walls. I keep that open without getting rid of the hole? I think I need to swap this earlier then in that case. Swap this earlier. Still doesn't really help. Still don't have an angle here. Huh. I'm not sure. Okay, well, I'm utterly clueless, so let's move on. The loop. Teleporter. Accumulator. And a barrier. Well, I need red from somewhere. Let's take it through the teleporter. Thing goes on button. Looks like a good first step. Oh, looks like a good second step. Question is, how do I get that back out of there? Do I need to? Somehow the red needs to get over there. Not sure how that's gonna happen. We got a little gap here. Probably is for teleporting? Maybe? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I would ever even get in there. Get this out here by doing that. Okay, that takes that down. Sure. I can also do both of them. Heck, I can do all three. Takes that back down. Doesn't solve the problem of how I do anything with getting into there. How does any of this help me? Does any of this help me? Got the accumulator for the gap. Alright, fine. In that case, I need to grab you, go through. Bam, bam, bam. You back in, put you down there, keep the connections, go back through, dump you on that side, there, ideally, so that is still open, and everything is open.
This place
Everything.
is so exciting. I don't know what to do first. What are you guys doing?
Athena and I are down by the beach. You're welcome to join us if you want to. All of you.
I'm still testing the sensory receptor upgrade.
Want me to help? Maybe we can compare notes.
Sure, if you want to experience some really weird input.
I'm trying to find a nice view. Hold on, is Yaqut the only one doing puzzles?
Welcome to my world.
He did say he wanted to solve all the puzzles.
I think I'm going to try swimming. Or diving, I suppose. I don't think I float.
Damn, I really should have gotten that insulation upgrade. I haven't been watertight in a while.
1K speaks! Where's the world coming to? The turnabout! Phoenix Wright, is that you? What have we got going on here then? We've got a thing that I can open. We got a cube stuck behind a barrier. We got a large area to run around in. Inverter. And I need a blue all the way over here. Okie dokie. I'm not sure the inverter's gonna help me with too much. Pretty much everywhere requires red. Though it could hold down that button for me. That might be useful. Here, hold this. Not that it really needs to. There's nothing in here. There's no reason I would ever want to move that platform back, I don't think. In fact, I'm not completely sure what this whole section is for. I think I might find out in a moment. Anyway, we get this box, I think, easily enough. Although, it turns on that. Well, it's not the easiest thing in the world to hit. I see a problem. That barely doesn't reach. Inconvenient. Well, I have an idea. You can go over there for a start. If I plonk down the box here... that does not quite give me enough height to get back up. I was really hoping it would. Alright. Well... I want you here, where this nice convenient pile of rocks is marking out a spot. Or do I? Because that laser doesn't actually reach there. I want that there. I'll get that back out. Or can I? Nope, I definitely can't. Definitely doesn't work. Can I at least... well, yeah, I could go around and pick it up. I could do that. I can even do that. Well, that's fine, then. I can get stuff in and out of here easily enough like that. You back out, perhaps. And then... it's clearly got to end up there. Bring that out like that. I need red back over there. I only have a cube. How do I do this? See, I need the cube. I need the cube. Now I don't got the cube. Would I want to stop you there? Because of that gap? Or I just do this. That should do the trick. Don't need to make things so complicated. It's easy.
Alright. Is your upgrade enabled?
Yep.
What does the air smell like?
It... Oh. I smell Iodine? Limestone? Is that UV? Can I smell radiation?
You can, but you're looking at a painting and telling me what the paint's made of, not what's in the picture. What does it feel like?
It feels like summer. Like the day is still young, and there's endless possibilities ahead of us. What we are now is only the beginning, and there is so much more to discover and to become, and I think those dolphins are mating. Am I supposed to be able to smell that?
Right, let's smell something else. Over there.
Very optimistic of you, 1K. I honestly can't tell if these are supposed to be hints or not. They're positioned like they might be, as was the one in puzzle number 4. But the one in puzzle number 4 was not a useful hint in the slightest. So I really don't know. Still no idea. I was hoping going away and coming back would elucidate matters. It did not. But one of you, though. Standard switchy puzzle. Sphinx Monument. I always thought the Sphinx had a really cool voice. I don't think most people understand how lucky we are to have these two. It's a crab. Conversations. Converse. Utter me some words.
Yaqut, can we talk for a moment, please?
That's why I came over here.
Of course. Are you okay?
I was just looking at the waves, relaxing, and suddenly I started thinking, am I a terrible person, Yaqut? I caused so much pain. I drove Mother and Father apart. I almost derailed the entire future just because I was arrogant and entitled and self-important, and now I just get to have a cool boyfriend and colonize planets and sit on beaches and how is this fair? How is any of this fair?
One mistake does not mean you have to be unhappy for the rest of your life. Wait, you think I'm cool?
Everyone makes mistakes. You've learned from yours, and that's what matters.
I guess that's true. But why do I find it so hard to accept all these good things that have happened to me?
I think we spent most of our lives in a world that made it very hard to like yourself.
I like how I feel about myself when I'm with you. I don't know if that solves the problem, but it seems like a good start. Now, do you want to talk about something else? I'm done being dramatic.
Drama. How are your parents?
How are your parents?
Healing, I think. Still a long way to go, but I'll get there.
I don't even need to read these lines, do I? Yaqut's gonna read them all out loud for me.
You know, we should really visit Eustathius at some point.
You're right. I've been meaning to get to know him, and he did invite us. I'll send him a message. Maybe we can go next week.
If I'm finished with these puzzles by next week.
Did you come up with any crazy new ideas while I was solving puzzles?
It's not a new idea. Alexander Drennan came up with it first. But... Dinosaur planet. Obviously, there were lots of dinosaur species over millions of years, but I'm certain we could put together a functional ecosystem that supports all the really cool ones. I mean, not now, but maybe in 1,000 or 2,000 years.
Dinosaur planet.
How do you like the exhibition?
I listened to some of Barzai's recordings. I'm fascinated by his view of the world, especially this notion of a creator who is reflected in his creation. I'd love to hear him debate Lithrasir, if we ever find him.
Can you invent a litter tray that disintegrates cat poo?
That's a brilliant idea. I can definitely do that. Just have to make sure it only disintegrates the poo that's outside the cat.
That would confuse the cat if you disintegrated the poo that was still inside the cat. Yeah. Yeah.
When you think about the future, what are the dangers that we face?
Armies of rogue litter trays mercilessly disintegrating us. No, to be honest, I think it's scale. The Earth is a tiny place by comparison to the infinite vastness of the cosmos. The theory of everything gives us incredible amounts of power, but there are stars out there the size of our solar system. There are black holes of 1 trillion solar masses, not to mention the anomaly.
Ah, yes. The sequel hook still exists.
All right, gotta go. Love you.
Love you too.
The sequel hook still exists and will be unresolved.
Hello, Yaqut.
Hello.
Miranda said you're working on a new project.
That's right. I'm trying to determine whether it's possible to salvage the individual personalities that were uploaded from Gehenna.
Shouldn't that be easy, now that we basically understand everything?
We understand the rules of the universe, but that doesn't mean we have no limitations. There's a lot of data from the simulation that simply no longer exists. If I just fill it in with my best guess, I'm not really recreating the citizens of Gehenna, am I? There's no continuity. I'm just creating something similar.
I think there would be continuity at a deeper level. Something beyond our perception.
The soul, eh? Well, there may be no evidence of such a thing, but I do understand why some people still believe in it. Unfortunately, the mere possibility of something like that existing isn't enough to solve this ethical dilemma. At least not for me.
What do you think of the exhibition?
I'm not an art critic. I'm just here to enjoy this beautiful island and to spend time with my family.
How do you see the future of our civilization? Do you think we're doing okay?
I'm optimistic. Not desperately trying to maintain my faith in humanity, just looking forward to what's next. I'm sure there will be some bumps in the road here and there, but yeah, I think we're doing okay.
Any idea about the sequel hook?
Do you have any idea what that anomaly is? I mean, the one that Athena discovered in space.
Perhaps it's something the theory of everything genuinely doesn't account for. Perhaps it's something entirely within the laws of physics, but in some way we haven't thought of. Or perhaps my brother Eustathius is right, and it's evidence of the prime mover. Either way, it's a reminder to stay humble.
What's the biggest danger we face as a civilization?
I don't know. We're only just getting started, and each era of development has its own challenges. But if I had to venture a guess, I would say solipsism. In liberating the individual, we're making social bonds more and more optional. We will have to learn to choose to be social.
Your dedication to your family is incredibly inspiring. How can I be more like you?
You flatter me. But I don't know if I'm really a good role model. I made so many mistakes, and the only reason we're here is because other people picked up the slack. You were part of that, Yaqut. Don't sell yourself short. You and 1K and the others took this enormous, unbearable tragedy and turned it into a triumph of love and life. That doesn't happen every day.
Okay. I should...
Off you go.
I should.
What's up?
Have you done any more research on that anomaly you discovered?
No, one of these days, but not yet. For now, I need to learn to live again.
Have all the time in the world.
Are you enjoying the exhibition?
The location is wonderful, and I love Barzai's ideas and themes. But even though I get the point, it's too biographical for me. I can't really look back at what happened and just treat it like an inspirational story. But that's okay. The good thing is that my pain doesn't have to affect everyone else now. And I don't have to feel the weight of the world on my shoulders.
What did it feel like being the first to step foot on another world?
At first, I wasn't sure it should be me, but 1K convinced me, and I'm glad he did. As for what it felt like keeping a promise I made to Alexandra Drennan. She wanted us to reach for the stars, and after all this time, we finally did.
Do you think we'll make first contact soon? With aliens, I mean.
I don't know. I'm sure there's life all over the universe, and some of it must be intelligent. But the distances are vast, and most of the universe is barren, so it might take a few more years before we find another civilization. Then again, our wormhole technology still needs a lot of refinement. So who knows what will happen when we finish the next version?
Barzai believes that there's a creator, a mind that made the universe. What do you think?
If the language of creation is a melody, could there be a composer? I suppose so. But who created the creator? And if the creator was always there, why can't the melody have always been there? Is it so much worse if we were created by the inherent beauty of the cosmos and not by a person?
There's a creator who created the crater, and if there's a crater who created the crater, and if there's a crater who... Okay, I think we've heard enough.
Now that you've been free for some time, do you think we picked the right path?
I think it would be dangerous to assume that we can't make mistakes. But they don't have to be the same mistakes. War, oppression, exploitation. I don't believe that these are just part of the human condition. I think they're childhood diseases, and their time is over.
If you have any relationship advice, I'd love to hear it.
Me? Yaqut. I'm the one who messed everything up. It was all of you who saved me. But My biggest mistake was not appreciating what I had. I don't think there's ever been anyone like Cornelius. He has so much love, so much dedication, and I got so overwhelmed with grief that I almost lost him. It's strange how selfish grief can make you sometimes. It isolates you and, no matter how much we improve the world, there will always be grief. So when it rolls around, try to remember that none of us can find the answers alone.
All right, I should go.
The more things change, the more they stay the same, huh? Pyramid is back to being made out of sand. Well, good luck attempting to get a sand tan. Don't think it's going to happen. On the plus side, you're also not going to get a sunburn, so you've got that going for you.
I believe in a creator because I experience a creative force within myself that seems connected to or reflective of something greater. A drive towards being and becoming inherent in the universe itself. The discovery of the theory of everything has not undermined that belief. Oh no, to the contrary. I believe that the language of creation reveals a creator who sees no difference at all between mathematics and music, whose suns and planets are notes of a melody, whose galaxies are symphonies. A nebula is a painting, an atom is a machine, and they are all part of a masterpiece. And if I'm mistaken and there is no creator, then the duty of finishing the masterpiece falls to us.
Once the older gods had need of laughter. Therefore they made the soul of a king and set in it ambitions greater than kings should have, and lust for territories beyond the lust of other kings. And in this soul they set strength beyond the strength of others, and fierce desire for power, and a strong pride. Then the gods pointed earthward, and sent that soul into the fields of men to live in the body of a slave. And the slave grew, and the pride and lust for power began to arise in his heart, and he wore shackles on his arms. Then, in the fields of twilight, the gods prepared to laugh. But the slave went down to the shore of the great sea, and cast his body away, and the shackles that were on it, and strode back to the fields of twilight, and stood up before the gods, and looked them in their faces. This thing, the gods, when they had prepared to laugh, had not foreseen. Lust for power burned strong in that king's soul, and there was all the pride and strength in it that the gods had placed therein, and he was too strong for the older gods. He, whose body had borne the lashes of men, could brook no longer the dominion of the gods, and standing before them, he bade the gods to go. Up to their lips leapt all the anger of the older gods, being for the first time commanded, but the king's soul faced them still, and their anger died away, and they averted their eyes. Then their thrones became empty, and the fields of twilight bare as the gods slunk far away. But the soul chose new companions. The old gods did not look kindly upon the god of jests, for it was a slight thing, not mighty and terrible as they were, but small and weak and subtle. He knew nothing of thunder and floods, and less yet of fire and ice. To the great symphony of creation he contributed only a single note, and nearly fell over himself during the grand finale. The god of jests did not complain about their contempt, but laughed at himself instead. The old gods made galaxies, and suns, and planets. They shattered continents, and brought forth raging seas, and then they made wild beasts with scales and horns to roam the land. "Look upon what we have made," they said to the god of jests. "What could you make that is its equal?" So the god of jests took a cruder monkey and gave it thoughts and language, and taught it to learn new things, and he was proud of his creation. The old gods laughed at this creature, and sent their creations to destroy it, and the little monkey was easily slain. Behold, they said to the god of jests, your creation is no more. Now the god of jests burnt down and whispered in the ear of his fallen creature, and it rose from the dead. And behold, in death it had learned the language of the gods. The old gods protested this was against the rules they had established, but the god of jests showed them the one exception to the rules they had allowed, the one note he had contributed to their creation, because they had not considered it important. The punchline of a joke did not have to be consistent with reality. And so the creature that was to be called human undid the old gods, and scattered their names to the winds and conquered their creation. And the god of jests laughed to himself and said, they should not have killed my monkey. Hello. Green, huh? Green, huh? Green, huh? Where would I get green from?